This animation shows brain development from conception through birth. In the first 4 weeks after conception, neural tissue known as the neural plate forms in the outermost layer of embryonic cells. The neural plate folds to form the neural groove, then curls to form the neural tube. This tube differentiates into the forebrain, the midbrain, the hindbrain, and the spinal cord. The forebrain will develop into the cerebral cortex, which translates sensory stimulation. It also controls complex behaviors, thoughts, memories, and problem solving. The midbrain will develop into a neural relay station for sending information from the body to various sites in the brain. The hindbrain will control the most basic physiological processes, such as breathing and heart rate. The spinal cord is the pathway for conveying information between the brain and the rest of the body. Between weeks 4 and 8, the embryo grows rapidly and the face becomes recognizably human. The eyes on the side of the head begin to migrate forward and 2 distinct hemispheres of the cerebral cortex emerge. At 8 weeks, and the beginning of the fetal period, neurogenesis, the creation of new nerve cells, and synaptogenesis, the creation of more axons and dendrites that interconnect brain cells, rapidly increase the amount of brain tissue. The young neurons move from the innermost layers to other locations, such as the cerebral cortex. This process is known as neuronal migration. The young neurons migrate from the inner portion of the brain in waves, with most of the early migrants resting closer to their starting point, and later migrants moving past the first ones to more and more distant and outer layers. In this way, the brain grows, adding layers like the skin of an onion. Glial cells provide the nervous system's underlying structure. They also guide young neurons that migrate like gymnasts climbing ropes. At their destinations, the neurons sprout 2 kinds of extensions: dendrites, which are multiple, short, thin, antenna-like extensions for receiving incoming signals from other neurons, and an axon, a single larger extension which conveys outgoing signals to other neurons. The distance a signal must travel determines the axon's length. At a junction called the synapse, communication occurs when a neural impulse at the end of the axon stimulates the release of a chemical neurotransmitter that crosses the synapse to the second neuron's receiving dendrite. Communications continue, and the rate of synaptic formation, or synaptogenesis, increases rapidly into the first year of life. Researchers often describe this growth as exuberant synaptogenesis. At week 28, something new happens. The cortex, a sheet of cells, expands in surface area. It wrinkles and folds inside the skull, forming hills and valleys, called gyri and sulci.